All right, guys, I've got Jared and Mr. Braxen, who decided to kill a bull this year after killing a pretty good mule deer as well. And we just wanted to record here live, so we'll have the video as well. But guys, introduce yourselves first. I guess we'll go with Jared because you were an amazing spotter during this hunt. But Jared, who are you?
So I'm Jared Thomas. I moved here from Oregon about 7 years ago, and I got hired with Sandy City Fire Department. And ever since then, I've been falling in love with the Wasatch Front and all the glassing and hiking and all that jazz.
That's awesome.
Yeah. So
From Oregon.
Yeah. Eugene, Springfield area.
Nice.
Infamous
There's a
Cameron
couple
Haines
other
area.
people in that area, right?
Yeah.
Like that we know about?
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
So produces
couple
good,
kind of famous people. Yeah.
produces good hunters. Cool.
Yeah.
That's awesome. And then Braxen, who are you?
Well, better known as Haxen Hunt. Just trying to be a little humble there. I'm just absolutely stoked for what has happened the last couple weeks. But Braxen, originally from southern Utah, St. George area, and coming from the desert to these awful, awful mountains in the Wasatch Front.
Like 6 months ago.
Oh my gosh, yeah. It's like, it's a whole nother animal to try to hunt these hills. Like, a lot of people I hear want to come hunt it. By all means, come out, try it. It's awful. It sucks. Luckily, good friends to make it a lot more fun. But born and raised Utah, lived in Idaho for a little bit of time. Hunting my whole life, mostly archery. Don't mess with too many guns. But story of my life, it's archery.
That's awesome. Yeah. So Braxen decided to come up north and kill all our big bulls and bucks, pretty much.
Yeah,
what
we've been
happened.
chasing for 7+ years.
Yeah, exactly.
Jonathan and Jared are like, hey, dude, come hunt my spot. It's like, just come hang out with us. And I'm the only one, killing stuff, I guess.
Hey,
Sorry,
it's
guys.
all right. It's all right. At least we got to be there. We got to be
That's right.
there.
Yeah, exactly. So we want to do this in person because we just had an awesome experience. Was it 2 days ago on Wednesday? Second to last day of the elk hunt. And just let's get started from the beginning. You spotted the bull to begin with back in, when was it? September, October?
So it was November. It was the muzzleloader elk general hunt. I took my buddy Braden out to a spot, and he brought his bow because and I brought my muzzleloader because I got an extra cow tag. And when we spotted his bull, which was stud 5x6, that he ended up killing with my muzzleloader. This bull, what did we name it? What's the name? Did you name it?
Braden's bull or
No,
my
this
bull?
one.
Oh, it's two different names. We got Lopsy because he's half,
I like the Creek bull.
but then the Creek bull.
The Creek
that
bull.
was the
I
one
like
I finally
that. Yeah.
finalized. I
So, and then in the phone scope video, Braden's bull is the Creek bull. This bull. So that's kind of where it started with this bull. And then after I posted the YouTube video of Braden's bull, some people reached out to me. And one guy said, hey, I shot at this bull on the muzzleloader. Hey, this bull's wounded. All this kind of stuff. So just through social media, just kind of kept hearing about this bull and stuff.
Yeah. So in November was the first time you laid eyes on this bull.
Yeah.
And why did he stand out to you? I mean, if it's not obvious, people looking on the video.
Giant. No, yeah. Well, first of all, he's a 7-point, and just being broken off on that side, dude. It's the amount of force it would take to break a main beam on an elk. It's got to be insane.
Yeah.
So I mean, this bull is just a brawler.
Got to be a big fight.
Yeah. Yeah. Exactly.
Break something that big. Yeah. I want to see the bull that broke him.
No, seriously, and we're thinking it might have been Braden's bull.
It could have
because,
been,
because
yeah.
he had some solid mass on him.
Yeah.
So for those of you guys listening right now, we're talking about Braxen just got this bull that's a 7x2. If you've never seen a 7x2, go check out Braxen's social media. But those of you watching, you'll be able to see this bull. It's broken off right after the second point, but he would have been a 7x7 more than likely.
Yeah.
And a massive bull, and then you guys measured him roughly
About 349.
if he had both sides.
If he was identical on both sides with a 40-inch.
Yeah. So he's got good mass.
Last trail cam pictures for some people.
Oh,
it looks like he would have been pretty well even.
Yeah. He was. I mean, his right side from the trail camera pictures looks bigger than his left. So, and I have his left. So, that's kind of the sad point of it. Of only
so,
having
needless
half.
to say, we're gonna tear the hillsides apart looking for that right side.
We've got to find it.
He's gonna be a shed hunter now.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
just
awesome.
one shed though.
If you're on the Wasatch Front and you find a broken antler, please let me know.
Yeah. So back in November, you laid eyes on him. He obviously stood out because he was broken off. and then you got some messages from people saying that, or from one guy saying that he shot it, and it had basically wounded his right shoulder, front shoulder. And so he was basically a 3-legged elk that had been broken off. He's had a hell of a year, you know?
Oh, yeah. This bull has been through the ringer.
Yeah.
Big time.
To say the least.
Yeah. Which is one of the huge reasons why we're all pretty glad that Braxen got an arrow in him.
Yeah.
Oh,
so,
yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
I don't think he would have made it through winter for sure.
He would have been.
After seeing
food.
videos, of him running, I mean, he definitely would have.
No.
Maybe another couple weeks.
Yeah. And so I want to say it was, well, let's, I guess, so that's when it started back in November. And then Braxen and I were up there hunting a little bit. You've been up there as well for the extended archery. For those of you that don't know, the extended archery unit that we were in, you're good until December 15th, which was yesterday.
Right?
Yeah,
yesterday.
So yesterday.
2 days ago. Thursday.
Oh, that's right. Man,
Yeah. 15.
My days run
I lose
together.
track of days.
Yeah, so the 15th of December. And so Braxen had already said that he was done hunting, which I'm sure his wife was really happy about that.
Oh, I never got that memo.
Exactly.
I told her, babe, I shot a buck. There's only 2 weeks worth of elk left. I don't have it in me. I worked my butt off for that on the deer, so like I'm burnt, and I got my bison hunt coming in January, so it's like time away from family. It's gonna be limited, so literally I was zero plans to hunt elk. Yeah, which makes it better.
Was it Saturday that you and I went up that same
Sunday,
ridge?
dude? And you know the guy that was parked there? He reached out to me. He was on this bull, 50 yards. So we didn't see a single elk, right?
Yeah.
I forgot to tell you. Yeah, he sent me photos. He was sitting there 50 yards from him.
Why didn't he walk up on it? He was gimpy anyway, right?
Well, he couldn't get a shot off, so that was the photo he sent to
So
me.
people that are probably listening from not Utah or the Wasatch Front, this hunt is probably, I would put it up there as one of the hardest elk hunts in the western half of the United States. It is gnarly. The oak brush is so thick. So Braxton's talking about this guy getting 50 yards away. I've been 15 yards. He was 15 yards away from this. We'll get to that later, but he couldn't see it.
Yeah. Exactly.
It's so thick.
It's so thick. If you're not in an opening at all, it doesn't matter how close you are. You're not going to kill anything.
Yeah, because from one side of the mountain, it'll look like it's open, right? And I mean, I walked you in on a buck, a solid 4x3.
Yeah.
And you couldn't see him. And you come back and I show you the spotting scope. I mean, you were right there 15, 20 yards off this buck and you couldn't see him. And even when he stood up, you only saw his neck, head, and antlers. So it's really thick. And, you know, for those of you guys listening that don't know about it, I'd highly recommend coming out and giving it a shot. Or don't, because, you know, we don't want more people on the front. But
come try it. You're going to quit, I promise.
Yeah. And this year, just to kind of set the stage, so muzzleloader happened. We actually started getting snow the end of October, which was awesome.
A lot.
A really good snow.
Yeah, and we got a good snow at the end of October, and then it basically has kept snowing through November and December, which I think I had heard somewhere that we were going to have a good year for snow, which is good. You know, those of you in the desert states understand that we need a good water table and or snowpack. And anyway, the days leading up to this hunt, you weren't planning on hunting because you had gone up with me that day. We didn't really see squat. And it had just snowed, and we thought we'd be seeing all these elk, and we didn't see anything. And then Monday rolls around, so Monday afternoon, if my boss listens to this, sorry, I didn't tell you I was off, but I was off.
Surprise.
But I was definitely working.
Yeah, exactly. So Monday afternoon, I went up, didn't see much. It just snowing off and on, which is really frustrating when you're trying to glass. And then, you know, Tuesday I went up, same thing, snowing off and on, not a lot of elk. I saw tons of deer. And then Wednesday rolls around. So Wednesday I get up there with a guy I'd met on Sunday. And we're up looking for cows. Jared, I guess tell us your side of the story, that part. So in the morning.
Yeah. So I got off duty that morning, and I think that night before we got pounded with snow, didn't we?
Oh, there was 18 inches of fresh powder.
Yeah, so we got pounded with snow, it's really good, moves the elk down. So I have that late cow tag. I just got off duty. I was just going to go glass real quick. And I ended up spotting a herd of cows, and I was talking to Braxen, and he's like, Jonathan's up there. So I started texting you. I was letting you know that these elk, because I wasn't going to go after them. They were too far. And then, stupid me, I decided to go after them.
Jared calls me, give me motivation to go after this cow. I'm like,
So
don't quit.
Yeah.
Go.
oddly enough, if I would have just
Exactly.
went after him, I would have killed one.
In need of thigh deep snow, by the way. I mean,
Yeah.
this was
Yeah.
like, you
Yeah.
know,
Yeah, these elk are dragging their bellies in the snow. So, long story short, get up there. Those cows feed over. I don't get a shot at them with the this is a late season rifle cow, so it's not an archery. So they feed up over the top in the fog. I never get a shot. Kind of stay in contact with Jonathan. I was supposed to go to my second job, the dealership, and my boss was like, "Yeah, we don't need you today." I was like, "Darn it."
Oh, no.
That sucks.
Yeah,
Dang
right?
it.
So then I was like, "Okay, cool. I'm just gonna go home then." And then as I'm getting ready to go on the freeway, I hang a left. I'm like, I'm just gonna go glass one more little basin, and so I drive up the canyon, pull off into the basin, and I start filming reels for my Tacoma and stuff, playing around in the snow, trying to get stuck.
He's a little obsessed with his Tacoma.
I'm a little obsessed with my
I think
Tacoma.
all three of us in
I
the
was
circle
gonna
might
say-
be.
I
No
like
one
it a
else in
lot.
this crew runs
Yeah.
a Tacoma.
No,
just
no.
you.
Yeah.
Yeah, we all do.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm getting content for the Tacoma and stuff.
Influencers in the wild.
Right? Hashtag. And I just start getting on the freeway from this exit, and I look over to my right, and I spot this bull in the oak brush. I mean, my keen road hunting skills
Yeah.
just paid off.
He
so.
was not driving.
I was just driving down. I was like, oh my gosh, that's a bull right there. So I drive down, flip around, come back, and I get glass on him. And the more I watch this bull, and I zoom in on him through my phone scope, and it's like, oh my gosh, this bull has one antler. I'm sitting there watching this thing. I see that I zoom in, and I kind of tell that 7 point, and I go back and I look at the video from Braden's bull. I was like, oh my gosh, it's the same freaking bull, which I know he's wounded, right?
Mhm.
So I'm like, okay, call Jonathan and call Braxen. I was like, hey, I got a bull right here that is very killable. He's wounded. He's by himself. And yeah. So make the phone call and I wait around, start watching YouTube videos.
Checking out, making
Watching the
reels, batch reeling.
Yeah,
you
America's
know?
Most Wanted buck. Mowgli and stuff like that. So I'm
So-
watching that and waiting for you guys to show up.
Yeah, so at that point, we were a mile as the crow flies, but we had a lot to go down.
So
and then a
12
lot more-
miles as a
Yeah,
hiker.
And exactly, and a lot more elevation to gain. And like I was saying, between knee to thigh deep snow.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, dude, we could be over there in no time, just pulling it up on OnX. And I was like, oh, never mind.
Well,
See you tomorrow.
it's gonna be a bit.
Exactly. So
Yeah.
just to kind of frame this, and I'm sure Braxen will bring this up, but when I got the call, we started hiking down, Jesse and I, and we're getting there pretty close. By the time we got to where the bull was, Braxen had already driven 30 minutes and hiked the half
Yeah,
mile.
30.
It was 30, but
Well,
it's
like
supposed to be.
it's an hour-minute drive.
He cut the
I
drive
was
in
I was
half.
speed limit only.
Yeah, exactly.
I sent him a screenshot of the bull. I said, "Don't speed, but here's the bull you're coming to kill."
Meanwhile, it's like winter.
and I hear him
Yeah.
There's
pegged
snow.
at 4,000 RPMs.
Yeah, and it's off and on snowing. Yeah, he was driving extremely safe. So we're great at driving, guys. Like, we don't glass while we're driving.
No.
We don't.
Yeah, I'm not
drive
driving down the
5
road
miles
with
an
my
hour
binoculars.
Jared's peripheral vision is just that amazing that while he's driving focused on the road, he could see the bull. No, but really what, by the time we get over there, I get a call from Jared and he's like, don't take another step. He's got to be right there, like probably within 100 yards of you. And so we start working our way up. Little did I know, I knew Braxen was coming from the bottom. So either way, one of us was going to end up killing that bull. And Braxen was working his way up from the bottom, but I didn't even realize you had gotten there yet. So I was trying to play the slow game, thinking that Braxen was still driving over. Little did I know Braxen had, like I said, driven, gotten to the spot, parked, and hiked the half mile to 3/4 of a mile to where this bull was. And then I'll let you tell your side when you get the phone call from Jared. What were you thinking?
For me, it's
I'm so excited right now.
For me,
It's like
it started-
it's happening all over
Yeah,
again,
dude,
dude.
reliving it. Oh my gosh, it's just so much fun. Starts at like 8 a.m. Jared calls me, but Jared doesn't just call me; he FaceTimes, and he's got his phone scope through his spotter, and there's 5 bulls in the camera, and I'm like,
Mhm.
you freaking punk, dude! Like, I that day, Wednesday morning, I had a lot of just meetings at work that I couldn't miss because I
Less
was
important
prepping.
things.
There was a lot of just stuff happening at my work that I was
Adult things.
Yeah. The responsible stuff. And anyway, so my mind is now on bowls. I hang up with him. I'm like, dude, I can't. Like, I've got this work stuff I have to get done, and now I'm totally distracted. I can't work.
Thanks, Jared.
I'm sitting there trying to like prep my meetings for the day after because I had a bunch of crap and couldn't think about it. Go through my meetings that day. Jared calls me again at like what 12:30. Noon, 12:30.
Yeah, around there.
And
I think I called you a little bit before, and I was like, well, you don't have to come help me pack out a cow. So.
yeah. There was probably 15 different calls in between then and there. But he calls me. He's like, you done with your meetings? I'm like, yeah, what's up? He goes, you got to get your butt up here right now. I'm like, why? What you got? And he shows me in phone scope. And right there, bedded bull. And I'm like, crap. I had just gotten home. Came home early because then I was distracted. I couldn't think about work, so I came home to try to do some stuff at home, but also help my wife since I've been gone so much. She wasn't feeling very well. Help her with the baby. So I told her, babe, I'm home. What do you need? Like laundry, dishes, clean. I'm here all day long. 10 minutes later, babe. Jared called me. He's like, oh no, what happened? I'm like, there's a big bull, and he's bedded and he's killable. And my wife's just absolute beast. She's just like, well, I'm not going to stand between you and a big bull that you could possibly go kill. So I told him, like, I owe you everything, anything you want, you can have. Like, this is going to be a great Christmas for you.
Is that what the big giant FedEx box was?
That's it. Could have been. Something came earlier to the door today for making up for that day. Anyway, he calls me, and I leave everything in my truck. Bow, backpack, boots, everything. All my camo was already laid out, ready to throw on. Throw everything on, bino harness, boots, gaiters, like ready to jump out, releases on. And yeah, it's an hour drive. Definitely took.
Wait, hold on. What happened to your tire when you hopped in the car?
Oh, dude, I jump in my I didn't tell you this.
What?
I jump in my truck and it's like low tire pressure. And I'm like, frick. So I like dial down on my gauges to see what each tire was. And my back right, usually they're all at 30, 32 is usually what I run.
Yeah.
Back right's at 17.
What?
And I'm like,
oh, no.
It's still good.
Send it, bro.
If I get up there and I have a complete flat, I'll change it to my spare. I don't care. So
Dude,
my
I
back
had no
right,
idea.
dude,
Oh
it's
my
still
gosh.
flat. It's the,
Oh.
The
like
only reason
15.
I know about it is because when I hopped in your truck at the end, you were like, oh, yeah, I still got a low tire. I'm glad it didn't go flat.
Yeah, so hopefully it was just maybe
That's why you were
one nail
driving
or
so
something.
fast. You were just trying to pump the tire up,
Exactly.
heat it up.
Oh,
By
yeah.
the time I
There you
got
go.
there, it was at 20, so I was golden.
Perfect. Yeah.
Oh, you're good to go, man. Low tire pressure in the snow.
Yeah,
Yes, you're fine.
It's fine. Just better traction.
Yeah.
So I get up there, and Jared's still there, glass on him. Bull's still bedded. So at this point, I'm ready to just take off running. And I ask, where's Jonathan? I know you were in the area heading that direction. And he's like, I don't know. I haven't seen him pop over the ridge yet. And I know how awful that hike is. So I'm like, yeah, it's going to be a while. So I'm just going to haul butt that way towards him. We're going to sandwich in on this bull, and somebody's going to spook it, kill it, whatever, run it to each other. Something's going to happen. So that's where I'm at this point.
Cool. Yeah, so you start hiking in, and you had gotten to a spot that was really close to the bull when we spoke to Jared, and Jared was like, you need to stop. Don't move anymore, and you should probably – because our wind was blowing directly. It was pretty much towards the bull, and a little bit above him was our wind. And so the plan for me and Jesse was to get up above him and to glass down into that oak brush because you had seen him feeding. And
yeah, he's up feeding at this point.
yeah,
Up
so
and
he had
walking
kind
around.
Yeah.
of messed around with his 3 legs, and was trying to stumble around. He probably looked like me going down the mountain, which is sad. But, he was up, and then he had bedded back down. He lost sight of him. And, well, we figured out he had bedded back down. But you had lost sight of him because he had moved down into the thick stuff.
He just went back down past this other ridge.
Yeah.
That's in
Yeah, so
between
there's
them.
like, what, 2 ridges between you and the bull.
Yeah.
And so when I headed out, I got open over the first ridge, and to let you guys know what the heck this place looks like is as I'm walking, it's 18 inches fresh powder, rocks, like 45-degree angle as like the less steep part.
Oh yeah, the
Everything
videos
else
I
is
got,
like more
you
than
can
that.
tell it's steep.
And
Oh, it's like
and
rock
there's-
climbing.
Yeah, and there's muddy underneath
Oh
that.
yeah.
Oh, yeah.
And so the
Sorry.
mud, I'm falling on my butt multiple times, and I'm trying to get there in a good time, trying to make it happen, because at this point it's like 2 o'clock and there's only 2 hours left of light. And so I get up and over the first ridge. As I'm coming up the second, that's when Jared calls me and he goes, hey, he's up feeding. That's when he got up from his bed. And so I'm like, okay, now we got to figure out which direction he's going. So he's feeding down the canyon, and Jared calls me again. He's like, hey, dude, I can't, or I'm going to lose sight of him. I need you to get to that ridge so you can get eyes on him, so that way I can try to reposition myself and see him. So that's when I get up top, get glass on him. I'm watching him. I'm 230 yards away from him, so not far at all. Throw on my white camo, white shirt type of thing, just to blend in with that fresh powder. Jared then leaves, and I won't say exactly where he ended up to glass.
I had to get a better vantage point. I couldn't see up into that ridge, so yeah. We changed
a really
positions.
safe area to glass from.
All legal. It was all legal. It's all legal. Let's preface that.
Were on,
it was
it's
just
okay.
the hazards were on. Yeah.
Thanks to the Hoyt carbon walking sticks, aka your bow, you were able to make it up.
Legit, like if people go on Jared's Instagram, my Instagram, yours, I'm sure is on there with the footage. It's like my bow is my walking stick, and I am side hilling this cliff. Like there was one point where it was a legit rock climb where I kind of took a second, was like, this is safe, like this is
how am I gonna
slick.
get down this?
Yeah, how am I gonna get down? If I kill a bull up here, we're not packing a bull down off this. We're gonna have to get a sled and slide it down. But then at that point it's like, okay, Jared's getting in his spot now, time for me. Now he's got eyes on it to get up further, closer to the bull. So I was trying to decide to stay on my hill and go across and have a shot maybe across the canyon, but just trying to calculate how far it would be. It was going to be too far, 150-yard shot or something, if the best case scenario. And so then it's like, okay, the wind is coming in my face at the time, but if I get above the bull or right at the bull, it might be right at him. So it's like, just try to come below him type of thing. Like, we weren't sure.
You ended up going back down, right? And then
yeah.
Again.
So I dumped into this canyon and then back up. That's when I was starting
and
to
that's
rock
when
climb.
you guys, I finally saw you guys. You should be seeing this. I was like,
so we're
so
literally
thick,
like
man.
pinching this bull at the same time without even knowing where each other's are. Jared's the
I
only.
knew you guys were.
Jared's the only key
I had
player knowing where everything was going.
Exactly.
He was the eyes in the sky to let us know what the heck's going on, and that's when I mean, with fresh powder, it's quiet. You can cruise through that snow and get up close. And so I'm cruising through the oak brush. There's an opening, and Jared's like, "Okay, get to the edge of this oak brush. He's gonna possibly feed through this opening. You're gonna have, maybe a 50-yard shot." I'm like, "Okay, cool." So I'm just cruising, thinking I'm close, but not that close. I get to there. He's like, calls me. He's like, "Yo, so range to the edge of that opening. Like, how far is it?" I'm like, 15 yards, dude. He's like, 15 yards? I thought it was further than that. And
Whoops.
Like, no, dude, I'm right here. He's like, oh, he's walking in that opening right now. And that's when you guys are, I guess, starting to come over now, putting the puzzle together. Yeah. And, I mean, you can tell your story at that point.
Yeah. So we had gotten up, and it was so quiet, like you were saying with the snow. I love fresh powder. Crunchy snow sucks, but fresh powder is really nice. I was actually kind of concerned about Jesse's pants. His waterproof pants were swishing.
Oh,
really?
It's not that loud, but I was like, it could be loud enough that if we get to within 50 yards, that bull's going to hear.
Yeah.
So I had him stop for a second. I didn't tell him why, but Jesse's going to listen to this and find out.
Oh, my pants.
Yeah. And,
new pants.
Yeah, exactly.
It's worth getting wet.
We were going up. So we were going up the hill, and we stopped and turned around because I wanted to glass down because we were right near the pin that you had dropped and you had lost eyes on him. And so he actually saw the antler just barely above the oak brush.
Antler.
Yeah, the antler. Yeah. And that's how we knew it was the bull.
Yeah.
You know?
There's only one.
Yeah.
Only one.
And so he sees the antler, then we get eyes on him, and then all of a sudden he just dumps down. And I was like, our wind was good. And like, honestly, I was thinking that he had heard Jesse's pants. And I was like, oh man, okay. And then I see Braxen running like a little turkey behind him.
I went absolutely.
I was like,
oh,
psycho.
It's like, if you want to kill this bull, you need to sprint now.
Yeah.
And it's not sprinting. It's skiing and
Controlled
boots.
fall.
No, dude, I was literally just skiing down this hill. So like, giving people a mental picture of this, it's up on a ridge and it's I mean, straight down into this valley, this canyon, and then straight back up. And that bull was just headed straight down into the bottom. And so I'm thinking since he's injured, he's just going to tank to the bottom, stay at the bottom. Jared's like, get to the bottom right now. It's thick oak brush. I'm not getting to the bottom. It's not happening.
Yeah.
And as soon as I kind of crest over and start heading down, I look across, and there he is, eye level with me, 75 yards. And I'm just, meow, 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 like, stop. And Jared's got all the fun audio on his camera about this whole situation. I draw back, or I range him first, 75 yards. I draw back, settle. He's in my ear telling me, like, calm down, dude. Take a breath, take a second, which helped, dude. I'm not, it helped so much.
Angel in the ear.
Oh, yeah. Like, dude, stop freaking out.
I can hear you, bro.
It's only the biggest bull of your life. No stress.
I'm freaking out.
You better make the shot. Don't stress.
Yeah.
75 yards, like, I'm totally confident, comfortable. I shoot, and I don't know if it, I can vaguely remember what happened with that shot. All I know is that I missed. And I don't know if it was me or if he ran, what it was.
It was a Wasatch Shield.
Yeah.
It's
the random
it's the oak
branches.
brush.
Yeah, something.
It is.
Yeah.
Totally miss, and I, Jared's listening to me. I'm freaking out because I just missed this bull, and now he's running. So he crests up and over, or right at the top of the hill. I range him 120. I run down 20 more yards, rough estimate. I dial my sight down to 100, and I know I've got 3 pins. It would be 80, 90, and 100 all along his side. I was just trying to get something in him, and I ended up barely skimming his back leg is what it was. Is once we got the bull, we had seen where it hit. At this point, physically exhausted out of my mind. Like, I was ready to.
Oh, yeah, you can hear it in the video.
Oh.
Dude, I can't understand any of the words that you're saying.
Yeah, and, well, in the middle of this too, so I get a hold of Braxen as I see him turkey running across this. Like, he's just like, and
exactly how it
that's
was.
exactly what it was like. Not that I'm picturing it.
I couldn't tell who looked funnier running, this 3-legged elk or Braxen, but
Definitely me.
Yeah.
But I get him on the phone. I'm like, "Did you hit him?" He was like, "I think I shot him," and then the phone cuts out, and I was like, "Really?" Like,
I'm like,
That's what you're gonna leave me with.
trying to like answer on my freaking earbud, and I'm like, hang up. I'm running. I'm following his tracks because with the snow, it obviously makes it super nice to follow his tracks. And so like I felt bad, but I hung up because I'm trying to get back on the phone with Jared because he can see the bull, and I can't at this point get up to the top, and I'm exhausted. Like literally, like that was probably the most tired I've ever. I thought at that moment. And that gets worse.
Yeah.
And Jared gets eyes, and he's like, dude, he's headed right towards me in the truck. Like he's gonna end up at the base of my truck if you don't hurry. So I'm like,
which was parked in a very safe position.
oh yeah, just
Now it was.
Yeah, now it was. Now it's
No, we're
actually off where he was.
Yeah.
And I had dropped my pack earlier on the first stalk, and luckily with my Onyx, dropped a pin because I definitely would have lost my pack without that. And so grab my pack, and Jared's just like, okay, take a second, like breathe and just follow his tracks and just move slow because he's injured. He's bound to stop somewhere, right? And so get back on his tracks, and his tracks are like, I mean, if you guys see the video of with him being injured, like he's falling down this hill. Like it's
he's
pretty
stumbling.
bad.
I thought he was stumbling, and then, I mean, obviously his leg was broken, but I thought he was stumbling because
from
you
my
smoked
shot.
him.
Oh no, yeah. My shot had no effect on him at all. And we get to the bottom where there's a creek, and his footprints go straight into the water, and nothing on the other side. So I'm looking like, okay, he crossed this creek, but where's his footprints? I'm telling Jared, I'm like, dude, this bull's disappeared. He's gone. I don't know if he goes left. I don't know if he goes right. Did he backtrack back? Because his footprints in the snow it was so dramatic. It could have been 10 different elk walking in. It was so bad. And so I'm in straight panic mode. I know you guys are now coming down. If I remember right, Jared had told me you guys were coming down from upstream. And so I said, okay, have him come upstream. If he went downstream, they're going to run into him, and I'm going to head upstream. But meanwhile, I'm going downstream, going upstream, going downstream, going upstream, trying to find if he came out of the water, trying to find a sign, you know. And
This is a small river.
yeah,
It's like
little creek,
almost knee deep.
Yeah. Nothing big at all. And so easy for him to just disappear, right? And I finally take a second, I take a breath, and I'm like, okay, what would indicate the direction he went? So then I'm like, all this fresh snow, all these freaking branches have snow on them. Antler height, there's no snow going upstream. And I'm like, that's where he is.
Mm-hmm.
He's that way. And this bull, he knew what he was doing. He got in the water. So if I was cat, I'm not going to be on a scent trail or whatever. They're not stupid animals. So he's trying to get me off his trail. And he's in and out of the river, this creek, in the snow, in the creek, in the snow, in the creek. And I'm in the water, knee deep, just running through this freaking water. And it's 10 degrees outside, 15 degrees max. And yeah,
it was cold.
I don't know where you were at this point now.
I was just following.
Yeah, you guys were heading down towards the creek, staying kind of just up enough out of the oak brush. You guys could see it. It's what it looked like on my end.
Yeah. And
at this point, did you see the bull after he tanked down, or after I chased him turkey run up the hill?
Turkey run. No, we couldn't see you guys at all after that. It was too thick for us to be able to see you. So we went down to the bottom, and then I lost signal. And so we came back up a little bit to give you a call.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Okay, that makes sense. So I just keep following through the thick oak brush in the river, out in the snow, just trying to find where he went. And I was expecting just to find him sitting in the river, tired, on 3 legs, running. And I'm working my way right back to the truck. Like I'm pretty close now at this point. And I look to my right, and there he is in the thickest of thick oak brush, 20 yards away. And I'm like, crap, like I can't shoot. And now he sees me, and now he's running again. Like I caught up to him, and now he's gone. And he goes up this hill. There's a little trail up there, and I knew he was going to take that trail, path of least resistance for him. And so I'm trying to run up this hill to get to the trail, and I can't breathe.
And I'm trying to understand what he's trying to tell me this whole entire time.
Literally, like, just panting, just like I did give up at that point. I told myself,
like an airline pilot that just ate the microphone.
100%.
Yeah, 100%. I'm just like, I can see the bull right now, Braxen.
I don't have any water. I'm dying, and I slip in the snow. And I mean, it's a steep hill like that I was trying to get. It wasn't big. It's just super, super steep. And I slip, and I'm laying there in this powder, and I just like have a flashback, like, this isn't worth it. I'm done. Like, physically, I cannot move. Like, my lungs are on fire. My legs are shot. Like, I'm like, this bull's not worth it, dude. If I take one more step, I'm literally gonna die, and I'm not gonna make it home tonight.
It's cold enough that your lungs feel like you're bleeding.
Let me just put that into perspective here. This is a 3-legged elk that you're chasing, and you're still having this issue.
These animals are insane.
And I'm dying. Literally dying. So I give myself the time about 30 seconds. Like, okay, catch your breath, relax, and calm the freak down. Like, stop freaking out. Just, you can do this. It's a mental game. This hunt is a 100% mental game. And so I get up to the top, and at this point, Jared's like, where are you? Like, the bull's in the wide open. Where are you? I'm like, I'm on his tracks.
I'm on his tracks. I was like, just hurry up, bro.
You think I'm running. No, I'm like barely shuffling my feet. Like
what is taking Braxen so long? I don't understand.
And I know Jared's like so frustrated because this bull's in a spot where you fling an arrow, he's dead. And I'm literally shuffling my feet. Drop my pack again just to lose 5 pounds. Like, shuffling my feet into his thing, and sure enough, I know I'm getting close because he said he was in the open, and I crest up and over this little knoll, and there he is, anywhere 40 to 50 yards, and hard quartering away. I mean, barely enough room to slip an arrow into his chest cavity, but I figured, I mean, I got to take a shot. Like, this an opportunity, 40, 50 yards, feel pretty confident. I shoot. Crap, I just missed. Like, are you kidding me?
And that's when he knew he left up.
Exactly.
Oh, no.
You look at your quiver, you're like, oh crap.
Like, and at this
I think
point,
at one point I asked her, how many arrows you got left, bro?
I'm like, 3, maybe 2. I left with 7, so put that into perspective. And so I run to where he was to see if I can get another position and get another shot because he's stumbling like super hard at this point. I'm sure he's exhausted. And I get to where he was, and there's blood everywhere in the snow. Luckily, with white snow, I mean, blood pops up everywhere. Look, just a tiger's blood, freaking snow cone. And so I'm like, that's a good shot. It's dark blood, so I'm guessing liver, but he's bleeding enough. I think this is going to be good. So then I keep going. I should have just stopped, but I keep going to see if I can see him again because I wanted to get another shot to make it more confident because I wasn't sure how it hit, whatever. And I jumped him, and he took off, so I stopped, and it didn't look like he went very far because it's just so thick, so steep, and I get on the phone with you because I can see you, and we're like 100 yards from each other. I'm kind of in the oak brush, but like kind of in the open, and I'm waving my bow in the air on the phone with Jonathan. Look over here. Look straight ahead. I'm right in front of you.
Works really good.
He's like,
how do you not see?
Literally, like 10 minutes goes by, and John, I can't see you. Like, where are you? And I'm like, I'm right in front of you, dude. But that just
how it
goes to
goes
show
out there.
you, how thick it is. Like, you can't see, and I can see you.
Yeah,
in
I
the wide
got a
open.
little higher, and I could see you at that point. But yeah.
But like, if you would have known where I was, you definitely would have seen me. Like, it's just.
After I picked you up,
thick.
I saw you. I couldn't lose you, but to find you,
it's. I mean, that just goes to show you that the elk might be able to see you, like I could see you, but you can't see them, and they're gone. So that's why this unit just absolutely sucks. And I get on the phone with Jared again, like, hey, dude, I'm on good blood. Like, get over here. I don't know what to do. I'm gonna hold still. Like, let's watch this drainage to see if he comes out, and let's give it 30 minutes. So I don't know. It took you longer than I thought to get over.
Okay.
So I wanted to hear your story.
So I actually got the whole shot on film and everything.
Yeah.
Right?
So that was.
So I looked at the timestamp, and it took me 30 minutes to get over there.
I was expecting 30 seconds.
Yeah, which
Get
probably
over
felt
now.
like 2 hours for
Oh,
Braxen, honestly.
Oh,
being
for
over there
sure.
waiting.
I'd FaceTime my wife.
Yeah.
I had called Jonathan. It was
And we were watching downstream to make sure that elk didn't come downstream. So he hadn't crossed downstream, and I could see upstream, and I didn't see anything. But again, it was super thick.
Yeah.
Figured I would have seen an elk walking, but anyway, we didn't see any movement. So I'm like, he's got to be in that little like maybe 50-yard stretch of the creek.
Yeah.
Because you heard it. You heard a crash, right?
Yeah. I definitely heard something.
Yeah.
I couldn't tell if it was just him limping through or falling or whatever. But
I also had to carry your pack, so I grabbed.
That
your
is
pack for
true.
you.
He did
You're
jump
welcome.
my pack on the trail, so I appreciate that. That was a lifesaver because I needed water so bad. So
awesome.
yeah, you come over to me. I mean, you get the shot on film, but you're trying to see what the heck's going on.
Yeah, and somebody has white fletching, so I couldn't really see where the arrow hit in the snow. So,
that's Vector's fault.
You can see the bull kick in the video and everything. So it's like, dude, that kick. I've seen that kick before. He's hurt. He's hit hard, right? And then I get his pack and I get over near Braxen. I'm walking through. I was like, this bull's dead. This is good blood, right? And then in the snow, it's just like, paint bullets, right? So then I get up to Braxen. We may or may not hug for an extended period of time.
Might not be on film.
It definitely is on film.
I was saving that for later, guys.
And then we're just talking about like the scenario and what happened, what he heard, just kind of going through everything, which is super important to do after you shoot an animal, right? You want to play the scenario over and over and over in your head. Where'd that arrow hit? What does the blood look like? What noise does he hear? What did he look like after, like, and in the video, I can see him kind of stumble through the oak brush. I mean, it's so thick, he's trying to get through it, but you can tell that he's hurt, right? So then we're like, well, it's been 30 minutes. You haven't heard anything past that crashing point. So then we go 20 yards.
If that. Yeah.
Well, and Braxen finally caught his breath.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. At this point, I could finally like just breathe.
Yeah.
Chug like 3 water bottles by the time Jared brought my pack to me.
Yeah. I was like, you're not tired. Why did it take you so long?
Dude, I'm dying.
You didn't just run a marathon through the snow.
It was awful. But yeah, so we're Jared catches up. We celebrate. Probably too early, but we're stoked, obviously, just after what has just happened. Like, it's just pure chaos. and then it's kind of like come to a halt. Now let's figure out what the heck's going on. So we're walking through the oak brush, and there's blood on the snow. There's like the oak brush is painted red, just the whole on both sides.
It's good blood.
Yeah,
It's
really
great
good
blood.
blood. Probably one of the better ones I've had on hand, honestly. And I sneaking down just in case, and I look down in the creek and I see him. So then I freak out. He's down. He's dead. He's dead. He's dead. So we're celebrating.
May or may not hug again.
Definitely. Might have been a longer one that time.
May or may not have tackled me. It's fine.
Definitely on
Sorry,
film.
babe. As well on film.
Yeah. So we're celebrating, and Jared then wants to obviously see because he hadn't been able to see him. And so we get another look, and I see his head turning, and I'm like, oh my gosh, he's still up. Like he's still alive. He's not dead yet. So again, we try to like compose ourselves. Okay, let's hurry and get a shot. Let's make this one count. I try to get down to like get a clear shot because the oak brush is so thick, and I just slid like a freaking slip and slide. I don't know.
Oh,
if
it's
you
like a
remember.
skating rink. I got the
It was
whole thing
awful.
on film.
Oh,
Man.
did you?
Yeah.
Oh,
So I've watched it like 100 times.
I literally slide.
You're going under pine branches, and you're trying to get your footing because it's like, for those that can see, it's
straight down
Yeah,
into
it's
the
like a
creek.
50-degree angle.
yeah. There's no traction.
No,
So then he's got to get his feet set to get another shot in this thing.
and it's what I end up being able to stop the slide at like what 6 yards.
Yeah.
And I had a good window, drew back, took a breath. I know it's not that far, but in the moment you never know what could happen.
Yeah.
Took a shot, money, heart shot.
Done in seconds.
Yeah, he was out what 10 seconds
Yeah.
after that. And
Yeah, one guy commented it looked like you shot him out of a helicopter. It's so steep. Yeah.
It's that steep. I'm like,
It
so
is that steep.
if you would have seen the angle, and to be 6 yards away and the angles like this, like is absolutely nuts. I
Yeah.
mean, it's a cliff.
It was a good shot.
Yeah, and at that point we start screaming and celebrating, and it was, I mean, the best feeling in my entire life. We just spent the last couple hours chasing this incredible animal that's way stronger than any of us combined, and tried to outsmart it, and we were able to get him. And fortunately, with him being injured, was able to be put out of his misery. Yeah, he was suffering bad.
Yeah, he had a crazy year.
Yeah.
He really did. And yeah, I remember hearing, when you finally got the last shot off, and you guys were super excited, and we yelled, and you probably couldn't hear us because you were down in the creek. But there was another guy actually coming down because he had seen the elk when he was out in the open, is what I'm assuming.
Yeah,
Because there's no other way he would have seen him.
Yeah.
And he was coming down the side that you guys were on, as this was just before you took your last shot, and he did like the antler sign and went like pointed down, and I was like, yeah. So he started going back up because we were already there. But yeah, that was a crazy day.
It
was
was
a crazy day.
insane.
Yeah.
Insane.
It was
And the walk up. I mean, this is my first branch antlered bull. I mean, those on the
Yeah, you
video,
can
they can
see
see
the-
my little spike. Like that's the first elk I shot as a spike, and then I end up shooting this 350-inch Lopsy Creek bull. That's just he's insane. Like my
It was
dream
awesome.
bull. I love a big top end on him, and it's where his strength
Yeah.
is.
Yeah, and we failed to mention that he died in the middle
In
of
the-
the creek
Yes.
that he was running up, taking Braxen up through.
That's why he's the Creek bull.
Yeah, that's why he's the creek
And
bull.
circled
He
back
was,
around.
Completely submerged in
yeah.
water.
Mhm.
and I mean the video's epic.
Yeah.
It made
It's-
for some sick
it's
content.
Yeah.
awesome.
Oh, for sure.
So,
Yeah, yeah.
I agree. Afterwards, my feet were ice blocks because my
Yeah.
gaiters didn't work so well.
Yeah, that
My
sucks.
feet got soaked.
Shout out to King's freaking Gators
Yeah.
though. Those saved my feet they stayed dry,
Mhm.
and I went in water to the top of my Gators.
Yeah.
Like it
I
was.
had the same ones you did.
Yeah.
I
the
used to
ORs.
have them. Yeah, and I have the Kings ones as well,
Mhm.
dude.
like almost completely
Yeah.
waterproof.
I was
Mm.
wearing a borderline summer boot.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
Really?
yeah,
Well,
yeah.
that's
The
what I have
Brixton's
too.
not insulated really.
They
at
make an
all.
insulated version, but
Yeah,
yeah,
it's
the,
like two.
yeah, yeah. And mine
I
were
guess
the
that's what mine
Laponias,
is 200.
but you had the Lathrop.
Yeah,
Right.
laser guns. Yeah,
That's awesome.
but yeah, it was. I mean, now we're taking epic
Yeah,
video and
yeah.
pictures and stuff as you're coming down.
Mhm.
I mean, tell me what you saw coming down into this cliff ravine
yeah.
trying to make it safely.
Exactly.
What, you got 20 yards from us, you could finally see us?
Yeah, exactly. So I was with Jesse, and you can tell Jesse. So this was his first year bow hunting, and I've only been bow hunting for about 3 years now. And so this was, I mean, I've been really close on bulls. And the fact that when we were on the phone before you even got up to him and bumped him, I think we were maybe 50, 60 yards from him.
You guys were not very far.
We couldn't have seen him.
Yeah.
There was no way to see him. And it's crazy to think we're that close. And you could kind of tell that Jesse was like, he had kind of pictured it in his mind a little bit different. You could just tell that he was a little like, is this, like, where's the bull? He was trying to go a little bit further. You know, I had to explain to him, like, we need to hold back, and this is Braxen's. You know, we're gonna not bump him.
Yeah.
Right.
Which is
and
okay.
So,
I mean, we're all still
exactly.
I screw up all the time.
So he was caught up in the excitement, right? And
very
like,
easy to do.
Oh, it's so easy to do.
It takes so much mental strength to shoot an animal and then not go to it.
Yeah. Exactly.
5 seconds later, because you want to see what you did, if you accomplished, if you did what you think you did, and then all of a sudden you bump him because it takes longer than 30 seconds to die or something like that, and now you just lost the chance to even find this thing sometimes.
And honestly, you said hours, but I think if we cut off your drive time from the time you were at the trailhead to the time you actually killed him, maybe an hour.
Maybe it happened quick.
Maybe
it was.
It's gonna seem like a lot
true,
longer for you, but it was maybe.
I guess we could
go
go
timestamp
the videos
on the videos.
Yeah, it had to have been maybe an hour.
That
so
was straight chaos.
That
felt like 4 days.
Hour. But yeah, because I remember it was around noonish when we talked originally about the cows, and we didn't even talk about the bulls. I think we saw 5 or 7 bulls, probably the same ones that you were looking at before we went up after those cows. Like, so there were multiple bulls. We lost them in the fog line as the fog was rolling in. They weren't worth going after because it was just so we wouldn't have caught up to them. You could barely catch up to a 3-legged elk.
Yeah, you're not catching up to a 4.
Around. Yeah, exactly. As we were cresting over that hill, like, there was tons of elk sign where those elk had been before. And it was a crazy, awesome day. And then, from when you shot him and we all yelled, we got excited. We went down to the bull and we got the bull out of the creek. That was fun. Right?
Yeah, right.
Like
little reverse sled drag
if
action.
Had like a meat hook or something to like hook into him,
something to grab onto instead of an ice cube.
Slick and icy cold, and I mean that creek
instantly stiff.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Yep.
So. We couldn't manipulate him at all, and I was just filming and not helping. So.
So in the video, you see like me and Jonathan just trying, and then me, Jonathan, and Jesse trying, and then you don't see in the video because Jared had to then come help and get all 4 of us on the bull.
Exactly.
He was a
we
big
had this
body.
small little shoreline that we could actually, because the other side was too steep to get him up.
Yeah.
We had this small little place that we could clean him, and then freaking Jared goes to work on him. He's like a butcher over
like
here.
5 seconds.
Yeah, I was like, I've got the knives. He was like, great.
Oh, speaking of which, I was just telling Braxen, I've been running that outdoor edge, this changeable blades, the thicker ones, right? I don't like the ones narrow because they break all the time. People cut. Bro, I'm seriously considering going back to a fixed blade.
Shout out to MKC because that was
legit. So sharp, stayed sharp the whole time. I mean,
well, and the thing is, so you were using the Speed Goat, which is that one.
Yeah.
And then my Blackfoot was the other one that we were using.
Okay.
And both of them have been on now 5 animals. Like, that was the 5th animal that they've cleaned, and I guess 6 including my buck's head. But actually 5 full animals, and it was still
impressive.
That sharp.
Yeah.
And that's without sharpening.
Yeah,
that's
I haven't
insane.
touched it.
That's insane.
That's impressive.
That's why I haven't done my review.
Usually,
yet.
like my
yeah, right. Well, there it is, right there.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
When I use my outdoor edge, swap the blade, medical grade, whatever. Like on one deer, I go through 4 or 5 blades.
Yeah.
Like I'm just switching them out left and right.
Yeah.
And this is
like they're razor sharp. They're nice, but they just don't hold an edge.
Exactly.
Yep. I was impressed, man.
Yeah.
Like genuinely impressed.
Yeah, and that's why I didn't want to touch it up. So when I do my review, I can talk about how many animals they've been through and the fact. I mean, you were seriously just like butter.
It was
it was
cleaned
nice.
up.
So sharp.
Yeah. So we got it cleaned up, and then it was funny. I went to go grab my gloves afterwards, and my gloves were ice solid. Like they were like curled
Did
up
they get
like
wet
this.
and then just freeze?
Yeah, they got wet from trying to pull the bull out, and then I threw them in the snow, and then I go to pick them up, and it was like like trying to almost broke them.
Yeah,
you
this
know,
was.
trying to
I think
open
it was
them.
low teens.
Yeah.
all
Oh,
day.
easy.
And then once that sun dropped and we were in that creek bottom,
It was so
single
cold.
Yeah, I
digits.
could have stabbed someone with my beard. Like,
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, dude.
it was
I may or may
frozen.
not have touched it. It was solid.
So it was nice.
Not quite as intimate as the hug, but it was getting there. He
I
was
got a little beard
there's
in me,
a
I'm not
little
gonna lie.
That's awesome.
But yeah, so timestamps. We were actually
what
a
you
little bit
got?
off.
Oh, yeah.
So you left our truck and we're hiking down that trail at 12:47.
Dude, I left my house. Wow.
Yeah,
I
don't
made
say
it fast.
we won't talk about that. Yeah, we won't talk
And
about
then
the
our
speed.
first video, like next to the bowl, is like 3:10.
Okay, so it was about 2 hours.
Yeah,
Ish.
a little over 2.
An hour chasing him one way and an
Yeah,
hour chasing him
pretty
back
much.
the other.
It was.
Yeah.
It went by fast.
Yeah.
Needless to
That
say.
was
I mean,
like that was probably the most chaotic, but like organized at the same time. Like we all, it was pure team. Like you're not killing a bull on the front without team. Like if you do,
I've been trying to do it for 7 years.
you are probably the world's best hunter if you can go
Yeah.
kill consistently. Go
Yeah.
kill a bull on the front, and I mean
And
pure.
this is archery
teamwork.
only.
Yeah,
Yeah.
archery only. Like, yeah.
No joke.
If you don't shoot bows, then you're not a real hunter. So
Yeah, and I've had multiple experiences. You know, right?
I'm just kidding. Don't be offended.
Boomstick cheater.
No, rifle hunting
Hey, I
after
like the
you've
meter,
only
right?
archery is like,
Yeah.
wow.
Yeah.
You can. Oh, I spot this bull 300 yards away. Oh, cool. We can kill
Yeah.
it. Like no
Yeah.
problem. And archery, it's like, oh, cool. Now
300 yards away. Now
I'm not gonna kill him, but I'm gonna go try.
Yeah, the stalk starts right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And again, like it was pure teamwork and it was so organized. Everybody had and knew their role in it where like it didn't even have to be communicated that before I had even talked to you guys, you were already perched up knowing something was going on, watching the creek bottom. Jared's communicating to you and to me what's going on, what he sees. I mean, from the very get-go, he's guiding me in what direction he needs to go, trying to find a clear path because when you're in it, you can't see the clear path. But if you're afar, kind of have a little raise, then you can see a little bit better and have a vantage point. But it's a team goal.
Yeah.
It takes so many
even
people.
if it had just been Jesse and me, if you hadn't been able to make it up there, I don't know if we could have done it because if he would have gone down lower or if I had gone down lower, we would have busted him and not been able to catch up to him. Right. So, I mean, and there's been other people this year that have killed some awesome bulls up there on the extended.
Yeah.
And they did the same thing. Ambush.
100%.
And then
That's
they
how you
bumped
gotta
him.
do it.
They bump and ambush like that. And then you have to have a spotter as well because you get up, it looks open, and then you get up there and you're like, I can't see on this side. You know, you can see across, but you can't see on the same side as you.
Yeah.
So that seems to be a good probably a strategy for the Wasatch Front in general, but especially late season.
Oh, 100%. Yeah.
I mean, it was like when you were telling me that he's right there and I'm 15 yards from him, I'm thinking, okay, what? Like I can't see him at all. Zero visibility. All I see is oak brush and snow. So I tell him like, take a picture and send it to me because I need I have no clue where the heck he's gonna pop out because you're saying in the open, but I don't know left or right or whatever. So he sends a picture and I'm like, oh crap, I really am so close to this bull.
Yeah, my little red circle was off a little bit too. He was a little bit closer than that.
So I'm just ready to go,
And that's one of the benefits of Utah. It's legal that you can communicate, right, with these. Like we were using AirPods and phones, but it's legal, so it makes it nice. Because there's some state, Colorado I think is illegal, right?
Really?
Like you can't
communication
communicate.
With
you gotta use hand signals and stuff like that.
Yeah,
that's good to know because I'm gonna be going to Colorado next
Yeah.
year. So
forget your walkie-talkies.
Check your regs and make sure that everything's good to go. But so that's one huge benefit, and it's just all a team. I mean, it's just a lot of the guys that hunt the front, they can attest to that.
Yep.
So
yeah, for sure.
I mean, even if you had spotted the bull, I showed up and you left, he would. Nothing would happen. I can promise you that. I did that 5 times during the hunt. I went out solo. You've been out solo, and you might see him, but you don't kill him.
Well, I got 50 yards from 3 5 points. And I had no idea they were there until I saw them walking through the thick stuff, and I had no shot. And then the next time I see them, they're 340 yards away on this other face. That again, if it had been rifle, all day,
easy,
right? Yeah,
for sure.
But I just had to pull up my spot and scope and be like, "Oh, you guys look great."
Wow, those are good-looking bulls. I mean, that happened to me the week before. It was, I can't remember what day it was, but week before I killed the bull, it was solo. Jared kind of sent me a spot that he had seen him the day before, and it was a big storm that night. So I went up that direction. I spot 5 bulls up the canyon, 2,000 yards, just an awful place. I get up there, and I think I'm in a good
You're
spot.
regretting it at that point.
Oh, 100%. I was convinced I wasn't making it home.
Hiking in the snow is
Just
just a
stupid.
different ball game.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's
exhausting.
I'm used to like an August in the summer, desert, 110 degrees, bow hunting. Like that was what I'm used to.
Yeah, you want strong hip flexors for
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, it's
Yeah.
for hunting in December.
We're
Man.
talking about step ups, man.
Yeah.
That's
Dude,
the
for
step
real.
ups, like
Yeah.
right there.
for
Yeah.
real. And
Yes.
I got 200 yards, and I just watched him run by broadside.
Mhm.
5 giant bulls. Like one of them was huge, and it's like, oh, you look cool.
Yeah.
See you later.
Little did Braxen know he was moving up north, and now he's gonna get to be Jackson.
That's
what-
right. I gotta
And,
start working out.
He's
keep
killing
up.
big animals, and
Yeah.
he's gonna get jacked.
I'm gonna
now,
drag him
right?
down into my basement and get
Yeah.
him all swole.
That's a little awkward. Okay.
See you guys. Nice knowing you.
And with that, we're done. No.
Yes. Okay.
No, so we haven't even got to the pack out yet. You know,
Oh,
talking about
man.
leg day, man.
Oh gosh.
So
we weren't even far.
So
Oh,
Jared and I,
was
Jared and
so
I go to the
hard.
gym daily, right? And
Oh,
we
yeah.
train legs multiple times a week.
And I mean, I was way better than you guys.
Okay.
Yeah, it's all show,
I
no
think-
go.
I
Okay.
think-
It's
I recorded some of it where you were like, oh.
yeah. I was wondering what all those noises were back there.
I'm the caboose with the antlers getting stuck in all the branches, just like.
And I'm over here. I'm like, do you need help? While I'm recording him. Do you need help? You all right?
In all
Army
fairness, I
crawling up
just
the
did a
hill.
leg day the day before. Okay. And I already
I had done
scaled
leg day
one
like
mountain.
6 years before,
Yeah.
so
Yeah.
like
You're good to go. Great. to go.
fresh. As soon as I got married, gym days over.
Yeah. So Jared had snowshoes.
I
And
did.
those helped ish.
Yeah. Well, yeah.
They were getting caught
In
on
the
bunch
open, they were
of-
probably nice, but
Once you got to the
It's
trail,
still a
it helped
learning
little.
process, yeah.
Right, but it helped a little bit. But
In the
even
wide
with the
open.
snowshoes, it was still rough. You
Oh.
know, that pack out was it was rough. And we only had a couple of short inclines to go up. Like we
no,
were
dude, that was
crawling
Mount
this-
Everest.
Yeah, right, exactly. But we're like on our hands and knees, like you crawl up a little bit, you slide down some, and then you have to find a tree to brace against. And you know, it's just it was
I mean, it
crazy.
shows you. We had 4 people,
Mhm.
right? And these mature bulls, they're huge.
Well,
they're
if we hadn't tried to
massive.
pack out the tongue and all the other crap that Jared likes to eat,
Oh,
you know,
dude,
it's
I
just
know, right?
So good.
it would have been one less pack. we
Tongue,
needed.
the heart.
Yeah, right.
No, but yeah, it was good. I mean, it was a tough pack out. Even it was maybe half a mile, I think is what we ended
If
up
that.
measuring it. Yeah. But it was still rough. Like we could even see the trucks, and we're just like looking at that hill. And we're
I
like,
think we still stopped like
Oh.
5 times between.
Between like once we hit like 80 yards to truck, it took
Yep.
5-10 stops, and then you hit the hill that's right before the trucks, and then it's like a 10-yard flat walk, and you get to the top of the hill. I mean, this was me. I don't know what you
Yeah.
guys. I got to the top and I stopped. I'm like, I literally still can't
I'm
make it to
well,
the
I was
truck.
Can't do it.
thinking,
It's
you know,
right there.
Jared's over there coughing up blood. I thought it was just blood from the packs in front of us.
Oh my
but, you know.
gosh, right? Just hacking up a lung.
Yeah, it was
Single
embarrassing.
digits and
Well,
huffing and
I
puffing.
wish I had
It's-
gotten a picture of your face though when we got to the bottom of the hill, because like our discussion, because you
I'm like-
and Jesse was like, yeah, we're gonna make it up this, and you're like, okay, cool, and you start heading up. He's like, we're not making it up there. You know, like-
I told him, I'm like, this is stupid. We're not making
his
it.
eyes were like,
I remember
10
going
times
down
as
it.
big.
I'm
Yeah.
not gonna make it.
He was like, we're not making it up that dude.
I considered I had a bag of meat. I mean, it was probably 40, 50 pounds.
Yeah, he's farmer
Oh,
carrying
solid.
the
Yeah.
whole way.
I debated setting it down and coming back for it on that little hill right there.
Oh yeah, no,
15
it's-
yards from the
You're
truck.
like, throw it up to me, throw it to me. I told Braxen, I was like, dude, if anything, just hold on to the fence. Just hold on
And
to
I
the
did.
fence.
I
bro.
literally
I
did.
kept touching it. I'm like, I hope this isn't charged.
even if it was, it would at least hold you in place, right?
Oh, it
While you're
energized
not
me.
going to slide down.
Give you a little
Yeah.
jolt.
It's crazy. Yeah.
Man.
I mean,
Yeah,
you
that
got to be
was-
tough to kill an elk, man, and pack him out. It's
Reals.
no joke.
Well, not elk. I mean, he's been through a hell of a year, man. I mean, he got. We didn't even mention that you found the slug in his right shoulder. His
Yeah.
front right shoulder was completely atrophied. You know, it wasn't infected, which was good.
Yeah.
Actually, I don't know.
I haven't completely opened it up. It's still curing.
Yeah. Well,
Infection's still sitting out.
it looked like the meat was red. It
Yeah,
didn't
it looked
infected,
and smelled okay.
but it was a lot smaller. It's like when someone takes the cast off of your leg or an arm, like it just looked
Yeah,
significantly
It looked-
smaller.
Yeah.
'Cause he
Had-
wasn't
hadn't
using
been
it.
It
used.
atrophied a little bit.
yeah, for sure.
Yeah, he wasn't using it. So, you know, that was pretty intense. But we actually found the slug of the muzzleloader. So that just goes to show. I don't know. I'd be interested in asking this kid how far he shot.
I was talking to him. I'm trying to find him right now. Here he is.
And I found another
So-
big piece in his
Did you?
in the
Of the bullet?
oh my gosh,
Hide?
Scapula,
Scapula.
backstrap.
backstrap. Oh, really?
lost the train of thought.
So he
yeah.
was saying it was a. I think he said it was like a 250 grain muzzle.
That's pretty.
bullet.
Well, yeah, but the,
Do you know how
the
far it was?
yardage, because I mean, it's
He said it was. I think it was 200 or 250. No, it was 200.
that's a long shot
Really?
for muzzleloader.
It is,
but
not
it's
with
not.
like my muzzleloader nowadays, dude. I can like 260.
Was it a 45
I'm hitting
caliber?
a small
Well,
little
what
apple
was he
all
shooting?
the time.
You know,
He was
because you've got
shooting
a
a 50
nice.
cal.
So
50
you've got
cal.
but you've got a nice muzzleloader.
But the
right?
thing,
Like,
is that bullet was
It was
just
it was-
fragmented.
it
It was
was
blown up.
Honestly, and I don't want to talk bad about any bullets or anything like
Mhm.
that, but I was shooting the same bullet
Mhm.
out of my muzzleloader. Not the same grain and not the same
Right.
caliber, but the
Same
same
brand.
bullet.
Company.
Yeah, it was the same bullet.
Yeah.
Honestly, I mean, it was an arrow light or the arrow tip
okay.
bullets. I got to say it because people have the same experience. It's gonna
Yeah.
suck.
Yeah.
So we had to shoot Braden's bull multiple times, and the
Mhm.
bullets just disintegrated, just like this bullet. This kid hit this bull in the shoulder. I mean, it was in the scapula. I would think that high shoulder shot that
Yeah.
He
you're
should have
supposed
been
to
dead.
do,
Yeah.
that bull should be dead.
Hmm.
And the bullet just disintegrated.
Yeah.
So I was
Yeah, to find
definitely,
I mean, it shattered his scapula and his shoulder, you know, but
yeah. And yeah,
um,
the videos I got of him. We good? Okay. I mean, the videos I got of him, his whole leg is snapped.
Mm.
Like
Yeah,
it was
like,
under,
he was not
underneath
using
him.
it. He wasn't bearing any
Mm.
weight on that leg.
Yeah, and we're not
whatsoever.
exaggerating when we're saying this bull wasn't going to make it through the winter.
Yeah.
He was
I know a
gonna
lot
be-
of people say that to make themselves feel better to people that don't
No.
agree with hunting, but like no,
We got
for
I
real.
got multiple texts from people saying
Oh,
they're
yeah.
glad that we killed this bull, and I mean there's so many people that were just the front. It's a very very popular area, so you kill an
Yeah.
animal,
everybody
was
knows.
hunting that animal,
Yeah.
and I mean you run into good people and there's some not good people, but there's no secrets out there,
right.
so you get all sorts of information about the animals that you killed, which is super.
I mean, as soon as I post a picture of him, I get
Trail
50
cameras and-
DMs of
Yeah.
trail camera pictures, people hunting him, stories, videos, like everything.
it's pretty
and-
cool.
Yeah, it gives you a relationship with the bull a little bit more. Get history with him, understand what he was doing. It makes you feel better about yourself because you were the one that took him home.
Yeah, exactly.
Our team worked harder, so
Yeah.
Well, we're neighbors, so it's close enough to me.
Yeah.
our
Exactly.
team killed it for real. It was,
Exactly.
I mean, again, team effort. Without that, you're not getting it done.
No, for
But
sure.
like we were talking, right? Like deer in the pack out, it sucks. But it's super cheesy to say, kind of. But like, there's a certain bond that's made in a pack out, especially of an elk,
Oh, for sure.
especially if the pack out's hard.
I mean,
right,
it's
you-
like when you
like-
killed Braden's bull, we had gun shooting once,
Yeah,
like shot our
Yeah.
bows once together,
Yeah.
it
barely
was
knew
like,
each other.
He's a pretty cool kid. I could hang out with
Calls
him. I
me,
guess.
hey dude, come help me.
Yeah.
I'm too weak.
See, and I
Now we're
just-
inseparable.
I knew Jared from his pink shorty shorts, you know,
Oh,
his,
yeah.
ranger, his
Oh, yeah.
ranger panties that
Yeah.
he wears, and he shows off his legs all the time, which is okay,
Yeah, you
right?
got-
I figured he'd be
you
good at
gotta-
packing out elk, so.
Oh yeah.
Work with what your mama gave you.
No, I just need some.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah. So
Exactly.
it's no. It goes to say, yeah, it definitely creates the brotherhood of anything and everything. You helped me with my buck. Come what was it, November,
Mhm.
and I ran into a few guys on that same hunt. And I helped them pack out,
Yeah,
and
just paying it forward, man. It's
Yeah.
fun.
yeah, it's what it's about. And
Yeah.
my wife was telling me today because Preston shot that cow today, and he reached out, and I'm like, yeah, let's go. I told my
Mhm.
wife, even though I just told her, shot my buck, shot my bull. Now I
I'm
can focus
done.
on
Not
you.
going
I'm
out
done.
anymore.
Hey, babe, Preston shot him.
I did the same thing. I was like, are all the female in the family going to this baby shower? Watch my kids so I can go pack out an elk.
Yeah.
And my wife was really awesome. She's like, it's really cool to see the tightness of the hunting community, how everybody's willing to go help because they understand the struggle. They understand how difficult
yeah.
it is. And she's thinking on her side where she's like, I understand that it's hard as a wife being home. You're wanting your husband home.
Yep.
And
the more people that help, it'll faster.
Exactly.
It'll be,
So she's grateful when you guys, whoever's helping me to get home faster to her. So she's like, yes, you go. But turns out he had a bunch of people super fast be up there.
Well,
that
he's helped
beat
so
me.
many people. He's got a good
Exactly.
crew.
So they're paying it forward to him.
Karma.
Yeah.
Yeah,
We
it's good.
definitely wanted to help, right?
Oh, for sure.
But he had already. I mean, he had 4 or 5 people that were already going up there.
Oh, yeah. By the time I even got my clothes on, I looked at Instagram.
was like,
There's 4 guys
yep.
freaking packing it out. I'm like, oh, he texted me. We got it.
yeah, we got it. Yeah, that's cool.
So, yeah.
Well, awesome. Well, it was great, man. It's been a great season so far. Looking forward to your bison coming up here. You're gonna have a banner year, man.
Dude,
It's gonna be awesome year.
It's the B year. We got a baby,
Yeah,
a buck, a bull, and a bison. So it's my year.
for Braxen.
For Braxen.
Super gay.
There's
but,
nothing.
You know.
There's nothing cool with a J. I don't know.
Jackalope.
I'm only
gonna get
friends.
a jackalope.
I'm only friends with J guys. I got Jared. Oh my god.
Jesse, Jonathan.
Jesse, Jonathan.
Yep.
So you know.
We call him RedBeard.
Yeah. It's RedBeard,
Oh,
whatever.
yeah.
Cool.
Our
This is
guy.
fun.
Yeah, it was.
Sweet.
It was awesome. Well, with that, guys, we're gonna end it up here, and we'll let you go get to your wonderful party you've got going on, and with all your male friends over there at the fire
Dude.
department.
It's a Christmas party, okay?
My Christmas party, I was killing a bull. So
There's no polls.
My work calls me. Where were you? And I'm like,
Nowhere.
let me just show you this photo really fast.
Yeah.
Good
That's
excuse.
Cool. Yeah. But we're gonna wrap it up there, guys, and it's been a great season so far. I'm stoked to see where we're gonna go with your bison, and not excited to be in the Henrys in the middle of January.
Oh, it's gonna be-
11,000 feet. But
It'll be
I'm
fun.
gonna be
excited
a
for
great-
2023 in the future.
Yes.
Oh
man.
my gosh.
we're gonna get
guys.
you snowmobiles. We'll
Oh,
talk
cool.
about that off the
All right,
podcast.
Sweet.
Yeah.
I'll take it.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
But as I always say, guys, get out, live your life, and love it.